Are you ready? Sit. Wait. Good girl. That's a good girl. We are trekking right along here today. Gracie's moving at a much faster pace. It's almost like she knows we're trying to beat the heat. Everybody, well, at least in my household, we were all getting up early. My husband even trying to get out of the house, go walk the dogs, because it's going to be probably 105, maybe close to 110 today. So, yes, isn't that right, Gracie girl? Isn't that right? So, we've only seen, well, I guess total of 3 of Gracie's friends. She got to say hi to 2, but I don't think people looked at the weather for today. Everybody's sleeping in, so we are gonna make it home hopefully before 8 a.m. And today is a mixed day. Today's gonna be more focused on music at the church, and I do have a couple of errands to run today. Go to Ulta, might go to Marshall's. I'll tell you why later. It's kind of funny. And then, yeah, I'll introduce you maybe to a few more people in my world. So I did get my video edited though. It's gonna go live today at 12. So that will be glad to have that out of the way. And now Gracie is gonna see if she can sniff out some rabbits. Yeah. Here's my sweet girl. Every day after her walk, we get a footbath, don't we? Yes, we wash her feet and her little booty. Of course, today she decided to run around the house and not let me catch her right away. Usually I don't even let her like walk away, but I spilled some of her food, so I was cleaning it up, and she decided to just take off and run through the house. So I've got dirty paws all through the house, but it's okay. You're just so cute. Yeah. All right. Now we gotta go do your boogers. Gotta go get her eye boogers cleaned out. Yes. Yeah. What do you think? Must have water. This cup isn't nearly as big as my other one, so I didn't get quite as much water this morning before the walk. Now, whenever Gracie is licking the ground or finding something on the ground, I'm a little concerned it might be another baby lizard. Oh my goodness. If you don't know what that's about, watch yesterday's vlog. Little hunter. I'm glad she found it though before it became a big one, right? So I'm just mixing up my turmeric today like normal. I thought for this week's vlog that I would not take you through everything every day, because that could get a little monotonous. And so each day, like what I'm doing now, is something I do every day. But I thought every day I would show you a different part of my day. So I hope you're enjoying these vlogs. It's, I think, just fun to share everyday life with you, and you know that the life of an influencer is very much like your own. So hopefully you feel that way from these vlogs. It's letting you know I'm an everyday average girl just like you. I know turmeric is often recommended to take after a meal in the evening, but when I do that, I forget to take it. And since this blend already has some coconut oil in it, it helps the body absorb it just like it would if you ate it after a meal. So I think I'm good. Doing every average day. I can't talk today. Doing everyday average chores like loading the dishwasher because I forgot to start it yesterday. I don't know about you, but I'm always, it's like a puzzle and a challenge to get everything into the dishwasher. Yeah, because I don't want to have to wash anything by hand, right? Definitely gonna be a day of sunshine. I was gonna take you all outside today, but it's already hot. I'm gonna save that maybe for another day when it's not quite as hot in the morning. Take you out by the fountain, All of our flowers in the back are pretty much toast right now, and they don't, like the rose bushes in the back, they don't really start blooming again until the fall. But our front yard, you probably saw some of that. Beautiful. The crepe myrtle's finally blooming. Took a while this year. Okay, I just like to take a few minutes, really just a minute or so, not much time at all, just to clean up the kitchen if I have time. I'm fixing a little activity for the girl to do while I do a little work. Her Kong treat. I like to stuff anything I can. Yes, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Sometimes I'll make it really hard on her. Today I didn't make it too hard, but she was just kind of looking at me like, Mom, I'm bored. And I need to do a few things before I hop in the shower. So on Wednesdays throughout the year, September through May, we have Bible study at church in the morning, and it's men and women. My husband teaches it, and it's a really good time, just very casual. But through the summer, we take a break. We learned that years ago. Everybody just kind of likes to have a break in their schedule. So Wednesday mornings are more free for me to do what I need to do, work otherwise, or run errands or whatever. And then every other Wednesday, I have worship team practice, and I have one piano student, sometimes two adults. And so I've coordinated their lessons on the days that we have worship team practice. So today is one of those days. I have one lesson. I'll be rehearsing maybe with our flautist, unless he ends up getting on a jury. He has jury duty today. And then we'll have worship team practice, and I'll come home in the evening. And throughout the year when we have Bible study and then all of those things on Wednesdays are exhausting. So I welcome the little bit of break. But as I mentioned, still have a few things to get done today. And you know, with Gracie, I mean, I'm kind of a stay-at-home mom, truly. I mean, I work from home, but most days I am home with her, which I'm grateful to be able to do that. But it's kind of like when I get to a day like Wednesday where I'm like, oh, I get to get out. So I need to get moving though, and I'm gonna do a little bit of comment replying this morning and take a look again at my music. Last night, it was just not coming to me. So I'll have to go over to the church a little bit earlier today so I can plan the music, but I'll take you along for that. So I'm gonna do some comment replying, then hop in the shower. I do have, I think, some more new makeup that I'm going to test out today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do new sunscreen with new makeup or vice versa. I'll keep you posted. But for now, let's get to work. And Gracie, did you get it? Did you finish? We'll see if she actually got the whole treat out. Are you crazy, girl? Oh, now you did it. Now you did it. Okay, ready, go. Yes. Ready, go. You're so talented. You're some work. Yes. You know your mama's gonna get some work done. Yes, I do. I'm gonna get some work done. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Just look at that cuteness. Oh, she's such a precious girl. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you being a good girl. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. I just wanted to show you this Bluetooth waterproof speaker that my dear friend Debbie got me for my birthday. I absolutely love it. I can be in the shower listening to music or to scripture. I was just about ready to hop on here and continue on what I was talking about with my daily scripture reading on my speaker and all that, and introduce some new makeup that I'm going to be trying today. And I got the doorbell rang, and I'm looking out my window because I can see if there's a delivery, and I don't see a delivery truck, and I'm like, uh-oh, that means somebody's at my door, like literally waiting for me to answer. So it was one of my neighbors up the street, and bless her heart, she's had a long morning, was driving back in her golf cart, and I live at the bottom of a very, very steep hill. It's really a challenge for golf carts to get up, and apparently her golf cart was almost completely out of juice, and she didn't want it to die in the middle of the hill because it's 100 degrees right now. And so she's like, I don't know what to do. I need to go up and get my battery, bring it back. I'm like, I'll take you up. So we put her in the car and went up. She got her battery for the golf cart, came back down. We plugged her golf cart in, pulled it in my garage. I took her back up. And so now here I am and I'm starving. So I'm gonna have my usual lunch. Gracie's ready for a little snack as well. And then we'll dig into some makeup here because I have some new things to try out, like these cloud blushes from Ulta. And like I said, a foundation combination I saw somebody else try. I want to try it. So stay tuned. I've eaten now. I feel like I can relax just a little bit and chat here about a little bit of some makeup. So I'm doing a combination of the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. I have the shade 14, light medium golden, and the RMS Sun Coverage Super Tint. I do already have sunscreen on, but I wanted to test out this combination. Like I said, I saw, it was Nikki LaRose just on a thumbnail or something was talking about the combination of these two, combining something that is more hydrating, like the sun cover up. I've tried it all on its own and whoa Nelly, it's quite glowy. And I've tried the Urban Decay Face Bond and actually I kind of liked that one, but it is a rather kind of full coverage type of product. It is very long wearing, but let's just see. Ooh, okay, right off the bat, I'm not loving how this is looking. And I was telling myself we really shouldn't experiment too much because I have a long day ahead. Like I need this makeup to last, well, now I only need it to last like for about another 6 or 7 hours, but I'm not going to have time to mess with it. And I am going to be seeing people today. So it can't be too crazy or awful looking, and I actually need to go to Ulta. And you know, there's nothing worse when you're in Ulta and you're feeling a little bit self-conscious about how your makeup looks. And you're like, oh, please don't look at my makeup. But we'll hopefully bring this together. Ooh, I got a little too much there. I'm kind of in a hurry now. I had a nice kind of slower morning. I spent 2 hours or more actually replying to comments. It was really nice. I felt good and caught up. And then, you know, was able to hop in the shower and I thought, oh, I'm going to get to experiment a little bit. And then I had the neighbor stop by and time is ticking away. Now I got to get myself put together and get out the door. So I'm going to say I do not like this combo at all, but we're going to see what happens. And what's interesting is I have the, oh my goodness. Oh, no. I don't know if you can see what's happening, but it is like sticking in the pores and excuse me while I go take this off and start over. Do you ever have those days that you swear all of a sudden become a Monday? This day is suddenly feeling very much like a Monday. All right, I reapplied my Merit Great Skin Serum Moisturizer, and then I went back to my Mobay K-Skin Mineral Sunscreen. Before, I was trying one of the Paula's Choice ones that Nikki LaRose loves that is a chemical sunscreen. I don't know if it was that. I mean, it had been on my skin for a while, but as I was rubbing in my serum and moisturizer again, I noticed I have 2 pimples starting to form right there. Seriously. So put some rose balm on there. Now let's experiment. Why not? I'm going to use the Maybelline 30 Hour, what is this? Lumi Matte Foundation, which I already know I love. But I had recently purchased the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer with 2% niacinamide. So let's just try this. We might as well, right? We've already taken off our makeup once. Hopefully we won't have to do it again. Now I am just going to put this here. I'm going to definitely stay away from my spot there because I don't want anything else new or anything to trouble my skin further. And I've heard that this one is not as sticky as the e.l.f. one. If you saw my recent somewhat recent battle at the drugstore, you'll know I was trying the e.l.f. Grippy Primer with niacinamide, and I did not care for that look on my skin at all. But I've heard great things about this one, so I don't know. A lot of people, it's like their top favorite right now. So on the eyes, I wanted to answer this question because as I was doing comment replying this morning, I had this question several times. You asked between the Essence Prime Like a Pro, which won out in the battle of the drugstores against the Milani eyeshadow primer. You were asking if I now prefer this over the Ulta Matte Veil Primer. No, I don't. This is still better than the Milani, but this is better than this. And you can see I've already purchased a backup or two. So this one is cheaper, but you can get this one on sale or use your Ulta coupon many times. So this is still my favorite at the drugstore. And that's what I put on my eyes today. All right, eyeshadow palette. I recently picked this up. Charlotte Tilbury was having a sale and I'm just feeling this vibe today. So this is what we're gonna do. And I do need a brow bone highlight shade. I'm trying to rotate and use some of my other palettes that have a brow bone highlight shade, you know, other than my True Beauty palette, because I'm going through that shadow in there so quickly. So I'm gonna use the Mario Master Mattes palette and just combine a couple shades in here for my brow bone. And then I'll let you hang with me for a little bit of this eyeshadow application. I won't do the whole makeup look on here today because, you know, these vlogs are supposed to not be like, you know, 2 hours long. And I know usually when you're watching a vlog, you like the mixture. And I do hope you're enjoying these videos and hopefully you're hanging with me. You're ready to hang with me the rest of the week. I do have a few different things going on, as I mentioned, well, rest of today, but tomorrow is going to probably be some of my around the home chores. I might try and do a couple things today if I can, namely some laundry, washing of rugs. Oh, do any of you hate that task? I'm grateful I can do it. I have the Ruggables within, most of the rugs in my house are Ruggables. So if you don't know what those are, I'll show you those. But tomorrow is some of that. I really, really would love to go to the pool tomorrow, but I also need to put sunless tanner on, and I have a brand new one that is kind of crazy. It's like spray tan, like you buy the bottle of spray tan and you put it in a foaming bottle and use that, and it's supposed to give you like the darkest tan you've ever had. We'll see. Friday I have a meeting, and Saturday I have a ladies luncheon for a group from our church. So, and I'm in church. So it's gonna be kind of busy. And then in between, I'm gonna be trying to edit another video for Saturday and all that. So, all right, I like that. That's just these two shadows. Gracie's a little worked up. My husband just got home, but not only did we have my neighbor from up the street come, but we also have the California Environmental something, Department of Environmental Services or something. They every year put up this kind of weird fly trap thing on our trees because we have a nectarine tree, and they're trying to see if there are these particular fruit flies or whatever in the area, because they can be dangerous, obviously, to the citrus and all that California grows. So every year, for whatever reason, we get one on our tree. So he was just here checking it. This year, it was like this glass jar with this water in it. They'd never done it like that before. So anyway, Crazy was barking at him ferociously. But an update on the nectarine tree. I'm just going to keep applying while I'm talking. I had quite a while ago had asked you all if you had any ideas of how we could keep our nectarines from getting eaten by vermin, because every year, we've lived here 4 years, every year, by the time the fruit even starts to get maybe this big, it's all eaten. Some kind of varmint, maybe raccoons or something, they get up there in the tree and they eat the entire fruit and leave me the pit at the base of the tree. It's so nice of them. It's like they're laughing, you know, ha ha ha, we ate your fruit. So this year I had heard from, I think a couple people on here, and then my friend who does a lot of gardening had also said she had heard that sometimes if you hang these like kind of shiny metal, you know, light catcher things in your tree, it can ward off birds and certain things. So I'm like, you know what? I've got tinfoil, I've got paper clips. Let's just make a few of our own. And I mean, they're small. There's like nothing fancy about them. And I just wanted to preserve maybe a couple branches of fruit just so I can see. I mean, I don't need the whole tree of fruit, but so I hung those several weeks ago. And so far, we still have fruit on the tree. So I'll keep you posted. If it ends up working and you have struggled, because I know several of you have said, let me know if you try any of these and it works, because you also have had issues with that yourself. So far so good, but we'll see. I'm, you know, kind of keep going out there. We'll check on it tomorrow. I'll show you tomorrow, but so excited. I'm going to go in with the Sochi eyeliner, Waterproof Precision Eyeliner in Lovesick. I've used this a couple times and then I forget about it. One time I used it in conjunction with something else and my eye was really irritated. Sorry, my mirror's getting in the way. So I wasn't sure if it was this eyeliner or not. And I've used it with other things and it's been okay. So I was relieved because this is such a pretty kind of burgundy brown. So, but it's such a fine tip. Really allows you to get super close to the lashes. I really like that Sochi liner, but it's definitely, I mean, precision is in its name, and that's what it's good for. I rolled it up a little too far, a little too much pressure, and I did break it off. So I think it's a good one for, I mean, if you just want the thinnest line or to get that nice little wing there. But here on the lower lashes, I'm just gonna bring in the Charlotte Tilbury Kohl pencil. This is the bronzy shade that you know I am just loving. It's just so soft and easy to blend, but then once you blend it in, it will, once it sets, it will stay. So, all right, and then I do need to clean up my glitter fallout. But first, I need something on my lips. So you saw the City Lips order that I got yesterday. This is not one of those. I thought, you know, I shouldn't open a brand new one that's basically clear until I use up some of these. So this one, what color is this one? This one's Tinseltown. So, I mean, it's pink with some sparkle, but on the lips, it's pretty much clear. But wow, my lips were feeling really dry. Okay, I'm gonna clean up the glitter and then I'm gonna try my foundation today. So I heard somebody compare this number 7 as a dupe to the Chanel bronzer, and I've had the Chanel bronzer and then they changed the formulation of that one and I did not like the new one. So I just got this, and I think this comes in a couple shades. This is the Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer in Medium Glow. It's really warm, but I used this, I think it was yesterday or a couple days ago, and I really liked it. Probably wasn't yesterday. And so I'm gonna try this again. See, it's super warm. So if you're really cool skin tone, you won't like this tone, but they do have a light one. I haven't seen any of these like in person. Ooh, this is so pigmented. The Chanel bronzer, the reformulation of it, it became so sheer that you really had to keep going back in to add more. You don't with this one. In fact, I would say, oh yeah, put it on the back of your hand. But it's nice. Okay, got a little bit of a glow there. And I don't know that I'm gonna do much contour today, just a little bronzing. I am really ready for full-on sunless tanner, so I really resisted today of applying anything. So tomorrow, stay tuned. Have a huge experiment coming. I wanted to hop back on here and try out these blushes with you all. I've not tried these on the cheeks. I've swatched them, but these are Cloud blushes, and I have the shade, oh, Reverie. It's like the first letter is like gray and then the rest of it's white. And so I'm like, what does that say? And then what is this one? They did it again on here. This one is a little hard to read too. It's this one. Let's go in first. Ooh, I'm gonna go from the back of my hand. I just always do this no matter what, especially with a new product that I don't know. So this is the Reverie one, and it does kind of blend out to be super blurry looking on the hand. Do you see that? Oh, that's nice. I like that. I don't know that I have, you know, this kind of reminds me a little bit of the blurry blushes from Caloray, but I don't think these have the stay power that those do. We'll try this on the face, but on the back of my hand, the Caloray blurry blushes, if you do not wash those off before they dry, you have to take like makeup remover and scrub it off. Like that's how long wearing these are. Hopefully these last a long time. I think I'm just gonna stick with this color. Blend the edge of that. All right, I'll powder and then I'll hop back on here in a little bit. Okay, here's the finished look, except for the lips. Look how glossy my lips still are. I do love the City Lips gloss, and I always forget how much I do love it. So I'm gonna clean that off though. And I do love how the foundation turned out, much better than what we started with. I'm doing an experiment. I'll let you know either at the end of today or tomorrow how it goes, but I am experimenting with setting spray and when I should apply it in the makeup routine. We always see people do it at the very end, but I have found some mixed results when I do that personally. So I'm trying some things, I'll let you know. This, I have to say, I am super impressed. I just used this on my upper lashes and basically one coat. I went and just touched a couple sections, but I have to say, this is moving up in the rankings for me. I do wish that there was a little more space between the end of the brush and the handle because it's a little hard to get there in the corner. Like you got to go in with the tip of the brush, but you can go in with the tip of the brush. Other than that, I think this is very well designed. I know my mom would have loved this. This would have been so easy for her to use because her hands were so crippled with arthritis. So everything else, I love that Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow and the liner and this blush, I'm loving. But let's see how long it hangs around. I'm going to go fix my hair. And I'm just feeling like I gotta get out. You know that feeling like you've been cooped up for days, and I have been kind of. So I am gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out music for Sunday. I gotta focus on that and then head out, and I'll take you along for that. Wanted to pop on here real quick. Here is the finished look with the hair, the jewelry, my lip combination. Sometimes it's good for me to do these videos because I notate what combinations I end up loving. I used the Nabla lip liner in nude number 4. I always forget about these, but these are fantastic liners. And then this newer to me color from MAC, it is the shade Alone Time. Very cool tone brown, but mixed with this liner, I love this. And this is I think this is like the shine formula or the satin formula, the shiny packaging, but I really love that. So I will also show you my outfit, super casual today, but you know, the jewelry makes it seem like it's more dressy. Not that I need to be. Everybody comes as they are to our practice today. So I'm going to head out. I just got the music all set. It's amazing to me how I can just be, you know, wrestling with, nothing's coming to mind. And then all of a sudden, like the spirit just comes upon me and says, here's the music. And so hopefully the music that I chose for these next 2 Sundays is going to work. I also never know, I know what my husband's going to preach on this Sunday, but I don't the next. We're going through the book of Acts, if you're familiar at all with the Bible. And so we're in chapter 12 and he's not sure. Usually he goes verse by verse, but sometimes he skips certain sections. So anyway, usually somehow it all ends up working out. So I'm gonna head out. I'll show you my outfit on the way out with the shoes and everything. And then we'll head out to Ulta and Marshall. Okay, here is my full outfit. Here we go. Casual yet comfy, kind of cute. Added these fun little sandals. They're so comfy. I am wearing my watch today because on a day like today when I need to stay on time, it's just helpful for me to do that. I have several appointments back to back. So, and then here on my shirt, this is an example of a shirt that I bring in this handy dandy tool. This is the stitch gun. I've shown this in a couple of videos already, but I just love this thing. And I redid it today with one of the black ones so you can't see it. And therefore I don't have to wear something extra underneath. And I also don't have to use a safety pin. So, all right, let's head out the door. Baby, mama's gotta go. Yes, I do. Yes, let's go. Bye, baby. Be a good girl. There's the golf cart. Charging for my neighbor. Had to make 2 trips to the car. I have all my music, my purse, and then I gotta have a snack. This is the Paleo Valley beef sticks. These are amazing. They don't need to be refrigerated. I store them in the fridge just so they have a longer shelf life, but needed a bottle of water. And then on Wednesday afternoons, especially Wednesday afternoons, I feel like I need a little extra caffeine or something. And I've been loving the mushroom coffee, the everyday dose one. Of course, I add a little bit of oat milk, a tiny little bit of vanilla creamer, some monk fruit, ice. I think I prefer it iced, but it's really good. And I'm sure you've probably heard mushroom coffee is all the rage. I don't drink it all the time, but I like to think I'm drinking something, you know, relatively healthy and also feeding my brain and giving it a little extra perk. All right, here we go. I would explain why I needed to go to Marshall's while I was out, and I'll explain part of it here, but we'll see when we get home if Gracie actually does this. The last time I was gone for like half the day, I went shopping with a friend of mine, came home with a plastic bag of stuff I had bought at Marshall's, and I kid you not, Gracie sat at the end of the table looking up at the bag on the table, and she just kept sitting there and patiently waiting. I'm like, what? And then it dawned on me the last couple of times I had gone out for a long time, I had gone to Marshall's and brought something back for her. So she was expecting a new toy or something. Oh, she's such a girl. She's her mama's daughter, right? So I ran into Marshall's real quick, and I did find a new set of balls that she loves to play with balls. And then I also found some treats that I'm going to share with the dogs at the church. I'll introduce you to those dogs. But while I was next door to PetSmart, I ran in, and if you're a dog person, these are fantastic. These are the freeze-dried beef liver. They're only 2 calories, and I shove these into her Kongs, or she has a puzzle ball, and it keeps her busy for a long time, and it's very minimal calories. You wouldn't think you have to worry about calories with dogs, but you do. But now I am back. I gotta get to the church because I have to get music ready in 40 minutes. When I get home, I'll show you what I got from Ulta, but we better get going. No doggies outside. They're inside because it is too hot. Oh my goodness. Hello, kids. Gonna announce my arrival so that the kids know it's me. Well, hi, kids. Hi. Well, hello there, baby. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get ya? Hi there, kids. Did I bring you treats? Oh, did I bring you a treat? Yes, I did. Uh-huh. Yes, I did. Okay, yes, we have dogs in our church. They're really good guard dogs, but they're also good company for my husband. This is Bear, and that is Daisy. Both are rescues. They have very long stories each, but the good news is they love the people that come on Sundays, but they also know who doesn't belong here. Yes. And we spoil them rotten. They've got air conditioning and heat in the winter, so they are very well taken care of. Okay, so here I am in a rush to get the music together. I'm gonna try to explain this quickly, but we still sing out of the good old hymnal. There's a lot of choruses in here, but all of the really good hymns, I personally still love them. And just because of the setup of our church, it's just not conducive to a screen. So what I'm doing here though is, you know, the print in the hymnal is pretty small. So for our team that helps lead the singing, it's easier if they have a larger print copy of the hymns. So I have this huge stack of hymns, and every time we do a new song like we're gonna do this week, I've got to make new copies. So I make copies for them, and then we have two sweet ladies in our church that have macular degeneration and cannot see very well at all. They use a magnifying glass. So I do 2 notebooks for them as well, so that they can more easily follow along during singing. So that's what I'm doing right now. I also, you know, old school, I hand write out the schedule, and then I put on these little cards for the worship team what the hymn number is and which verses we're doing, because we don't always sing all the verses. We might repeat something, we might do a tag, you know, so it's just easier for them to remember. And we do 2 weeks worth of practice in one practice. So we're doing 2 Sundays of practice today. So I better get started. Reminds me of my secretarial days when I was doing all of this collating and all of that fun stuff, you know. If you know, you know, right? Meet Jay, our flautist, Abraham in the crowd behind us. And we'll have a pianist very soon. Okay. The pianist needed some help, but you got everything. So there's a couple spots where I'm waiting for you, so I just need to hear a couple spots again so I know how you're gonna do already.
We were like this last time on the video.
That's true. That's right. Yeah, now we're back in the right order. So raise a hand on as you're watching this video if you remember seeing this group from 2.5 years ago. Jay, Abraham, Chris, and we're missing Mary. I think Mary was here last time. So yes, this is our amazing dedicated worship team. They're here week after week. We appreciate you.
When we do, and we're gonna do a hold there, right?
Yeah. So just wait for that. right, you guys can head out. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Joe. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to the YouTube folks. Goodbye.
Bye.
What do you think? Is that not just the cutest thing ever? Is that not just the cutest thing ever? What do you think, Humpy? What did Mama get you? What did Mama get you? Huh? What did we get you, huh? What is that? What is that? Oh, should we go cut it off for you? Huh? Okay. Okay, ready? 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 Oh, oh no! Way to go, Mom. Get it in your water. Get it all wet. Yeah, good girl. What do you think, huh? Watch. Ready? Watch. She's like, what is that, Mom? What is that? It's a new toy. Yes, because we don't have enough, right? In that huge old toy box over there, all through the house. Yes. This is supposed to double as a training toy because we can train her to learn how to drop things. But yeah, as evidenced yesterday with the lizard, she doesn't drop anything unless I pick her up. Okay, Mama's gonna fix some dinner. Okay, and I'll fix you some dinner too. Yeah, let's see if this'll roll under the couch. Hallelujah, it doesn't. Yay, this is a huge, huge perk. I'm making my world famous cottage cheese nachos. Some of you are rolling your eyes like I always do when I see those cottage cheese recipes, right? But oh my goodness. I randomly tried this on my own, and I don't know that anybody has ever, I'm sure somebody on the internet has done this before. But when I discovered how well cottage cheese melted with my eggs, I thought, I wonder what would happen if I did kind of nachos with it. So I perfected it a little bit. So you kind of gotta create a well in the center of your chips, and that is where the majority of your cottage cheese is gonna go. And then we'll distribute a little bit around on the chips. And it does help if you have a drier textured cottage cheese. This is one of the good ones. Good cottage cheese. I'm very particular. There's really only 2 kinds of cottage cheese I like, and this is one of them. But you just distribute a little bit of cheese around the edge, not much. Yeah, Gracie loves cottage cheese, don't ya? Yes, but you have your dinner over there. You gotta eat your dinner. I may add a little more in the center. So, you know, we're getting our high protein here. And the idea for me was I wanted a way to not have to put so much cheese on my nachos, because let's be honest, that's what nachos are all about, the cheese, right? And then because I love cayenne pepper with my cottage cheese, and I love spicy things, I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit on the cottage cheese. Next, we're gonna add some salsa. If you have a Target that sells the brand Good and Gather, this medium serrano pepper salsa, fresh salsa, or the mild jalapeno one, so good. Oh my goodness, it is delicious. I need to go get some more. And I do like to add a little bit of salt to it. That's just usually what I do to anything with tomatoes, but I put a little bit around. Again, I don't want the chips to get too soggy on the outer edge, but I'm gonna go ahead and pile this on top of the cottage cheese. I almost said cream cheese. That would be really good too. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit of cheddar, or what is this? Mexican cheddar jack cheese. You can use whatever you want. Just enough to give the flavor of, you know, that extra cheese. Again, I'm kind of one of those that likes, you know, 4 cheese things or 5 cheese. The more cheese, the better. And I have this on parchment paper. You can do it on foil, aluminum foil as well. And this, you're gonna just move the whole thing onto your plate. Into the toaster oven it goes. Okay. And I forgot to mention the best tortilla chips you could buy in a bag. These are Wontonio's chips. If you live in a state where they have Winco foods, this is where they're sold. If you live in a state like Colorado that doesn't have Winco, Walmart, I think, or King Soopers, one of the two carries these now. These are so good. You will never go back to whatever it was you were eating before. They are delicious. Okay, while we are waiting for dinner to finish, I thought I would show you real quick what I got at Ulta. So I returned the Naked Sundays lip sunscreen, and they're still having their buy one, get one, I think half off sale on a number of brands, sun protection, sun care, sunless tanning, all that. So Naked Sundays is still on sale. So when I went down the aisle, you know, I was just checking things out to see if I wanted to exchange or just return. And I noticed they have actually 4 different versions of the Mineral Glow drops. And they have blush ones, and the tester that was out, of course I didn't put it on my hand, I just look. I think the testers are gross. But this is SPF 50, and it's again the mineral serum. So I can put a little bit of this on my cheeks. It's a lot like the CL brand. Oh boy, okay, it's like spilling over the edge. Got a little worm out there. And then the other one I got is it says sheer tint. So when I was looking at this on the shelf, it just has a little hint of a tint. So I'm curious, this might be something that's better for me, like in the winter time, because it's kind of light, but it just has a little bit of a tint. So we will try these out maybe tomorrow. In the meantime, let's check on our nachos. Oh, they're good. And they start looking a little brown and toasty. Ooh. Do you see that? I mean, look at how the cottage cheese melted. That's all cottage cheese. Oh my goodness. And this is like, you know, you don't want the chips like completely burned, but a little toasty is always good. And because it's parchment paper, you can touch it and pick it up and put it on your plate. I cannot wait to dig in here. All right, I'll check back in after dinner. Just a few final thoughts for the day. I've eaten my yummy dinner. My husband came home and he actually enjoyed a couple of chips as well with the cottage cheese and stuff. He thought it was pretty good, right? Pretty good. You can see my earrings are cockeyed. I feel like this is my day right here in the earrings. I'm exhausted. Our worship practice went a little long, and then I needed to run through the duet with the flautist one more time, making sure he's real comfortable. We're ready to go. So I didn't get home till about 6:40. And then I had to let the lady up the street whose golf cart we were keeping in our garage, I had to let her know. So she came down with her son to get that dinner. Now I'm really tired. So I'm gonna get my comfy clothes on, or I might just actually sit down in this because it's pretty comfy. And I need to check on my video that went live today. So gonna do that, relax a little bit, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.